not, oh, wait a minute, I'll take that back. Okay, so Ben, I logged into YouTube. And clicked on go live. So now we are streaming.
Okie dokie.
So that means if we're talking, people will hear us. So now we are, yeah. Because I just turned up the volume and I could just hear myself. So just be aware to everyone. What you say is being live streamed. So anybody who clicks on that, nobody's watching it right now, but if anybody clicks on it, they will see it and hear.
All right, I'll just
Hey, Kathleen.
Welcome. We'll get started here in about 10 minutes.
Okay.
Hello there. Happy
morning,
Sunday.
Carmen.
Hey, Carmen.
We'll get started here shortly.
Okie doke. No problem. Thanks for allowing me to get to church and back.
Welcome, everyone. We will get started here shortly. Please make sure to remain on mute. We are live streaming. If you are a president or a VPE, please make sure to put that designation in the front of your name. So if you're a VPE, you want it to say VPE John Smith. For President, PRES, John Smith.
I can't find myself on the screen now. I went to change, I was on the screen. I went to change my name and I can't find myself.
Harriet, are you
Yes.
a president or a VPE?
VPE,
All right, I can help you change that.
thank you.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Good morning, everyone. Please remember to stay on mute. We are live streaming right now. Please make sure if you are a president or a VPE that you rename yourself. Put the VPE or president at the beginning of your name, please.
Hi, Kathleen. Can you hear my voice?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
If you need help renaming yourself, please send me a chat in the chat box. B, could you please put your SAA at the beginning of your name? Thank you.
Oh, snap. Oops. Rename.
We will get started shortly. Please stay on mute. For presidents and VPEs, if you are a president, please put PRES in front of your name. If you are a VPE, please put VPE in front of your name. Thank you so much. Welcome, everyone. We are still waiting to start. While we are waiting, please make sure that if you are a VPE or a president, that you need to rename yourself. Put president or VPE in front of your name. Thank you.
Sorry I'm late. Would fill you in the details why, but you know, super feels they'll just catch themselves.
Mark, please stay on mute. Thank you.
Hi, this is David Schultz.
Everyone, please stay on mute until we begin the meeting and have further directions. If you are a president or a VPE, please put VPE or president in front of your name. If you need help to do so, please send a request in the chat box. We are live streaming on YouTube, so anyone who is watching will be able to hear you. So we need everybody to stay on mute. Thank you.
Toastmasters, we will now reconvene with the District 18 business meeting portion of the spring conference via the online Zoom platform on Sunday, the 1st of May, 2022. By attending this remote event, you agree to the privacy policy of Toastmasters International. Personal information such as name and image will be recorded and may be used for reference and or educational material. Your remote attendance hereby discharges Toastmasters International from all claims, demands, rights, promises, damages, and liability. All attendees, please ensure your screen has both your voting role, such as Pres or VPE, and your first and last name. All unidentified devices will be removed from the meeting. Again, please ensure to rename your device with your voting credential and your first and last name. We build new clubs and support all clubs in achieving excellence is the district's mission. Mr. District Director, Benjamin Chris.
Thank you, Madam Sergeant at Arms. Good afternoon, and thank you all for attending Toastmasters District 18 business meeting. Club presidents, VPEs, and all other eligible district executive council voting delegates, please stay connected for the entire meeting so as to, 1, hear the candidates' campaign speeches prior to casting your vote, and 2, as we need to maintain a quorum throughout the meeting. To view today's agenda, please reference the District 18 website. Also, Madam PQD, will you please post the agenda link in the chat box? I would first like to acknowledge the panel. Kathy Lovemore, DTM Administration Manager. Kathleen Davis, DTM Program Quality Director. Tennille Coombs, PM2 Club Growth Director. William Buckley, DTM District Parliamentarian. B. Vilme, serving as the District Timer and Sergeant at Arms. Cynthia D. Williams, DTM, immediate past district director, DLC and Credentials Committee Chair, with the following Credentials Committee members: Jeff Jones and Iris Taylor, both DTMs. We will also hear from the District Finance Manager, Fadi Zabal, with the mid-year financial audit report, and the District Public Relation Manager, Marianne Grady. Now that we've officially called a business meeting to order, allow me to take care of some ground rules. The business meeting is open to all, however, only voting members of the district council, and more specifically, voting members of the district council who registered by 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on Friday, April 29, 2022, may make motions, discuss motions, vote, and transact other district business. Please note that there were no new motions or unfinished business submitted 7 days prior to today's meeting. Therefore, no new motions will be permitted at today's meeting. Additionally, amendments to motions on the agenda may be ruled out of order at the chair's discretion for the same reason. My intent is to facilitate a seamless virtual business meeting by leveraging the technology at our disposal. The district council is comprised of club presidents, vice presidents education, area and division directors, administration manager, finance manager, public relations manager, club growth director, program quality director, and immediate past district director. In good standing clubs and eligible voting deck members, please check your email. That is the one that you registered with for this business meeting, and there will be an email from Election Buddy entitled Vote Now District 18 Test Vote Ice Cream Flavors, sent roughly 11:30, 11:45 this morning. During this meeting, you will also receive an actual ballot. Please do not submit the actual ballot until we have heard from both candidates for the contested office of Club Growth Director, or in the event we need to add additional voting categories. Please take a moment to locate the test ballot and be sure to check your spam or junk folders. Please do not forward your link to another voting member, as the email and the link within is unique to you and you only. Please take a moment to vote via the election buddy link. For those that received it and have already cast your vote, thank you. If you are experiencing issues or if you know that you registered by 5 p.m. April 29th and have not received an Election Buddy test vote, please private chat to Cynthia D. Williams, immediate past district director, your first and last name, the email address you registered under, and state you did not receive your test vote. Once again, only voting members of the district council who registered by 5 p.m. on Friday, April 29th will receive a ballot and test ballot. This screen spells out the instructions for casting your ballot. What you'll do is you'll open your voter notice and follow the instructions on the access sheet. You'll click on the link and then enter your choices on the ballot. You will answer each ballot question as directed. You should see the instructions both at the top of the page and at the top of each position or question on the ballot. After you have completed the ballot, click Continue. You can then review the ballot prior to submitting, and once you've made confirmation that you have confirmed your choices, you may then submit your ballot, and you will get a confirmation ballot or a confirmation email that you successfully submitted your ballot. Again, if you have not received your ballot, please private chat Cynthia D. Williams, immediate past district director. Moving on. Oh, and here's the instructions for raising your hand in this meeting. When you are addressing the chair to make a motion or to add to a discussion, please raise your hand electronically using the icon at the bottom of your screen. You will then be recognized by the Sergeant at Arms and asked to unmute your mic. You will then state your first and last name, club name and number, and your officer role, and state your business for the administration manager to record. And that reminds me. Give me 1 second. All right. To help expedite business, the chair will use a consent agenda. And the consent agenda is typically items that are usually non-controversial and no objection to the proposal. For today's meeting, we will dispose of the following agenda items using unanimous consent. Adoption of the agenda, adoption of the September 2021 Fall Business Meeting Minutes, and adoption of the Alignment Committee Recommendation Report. With this consent agenda, you will hear the chair use the phrase, "Are there any objections?" or "If there are no objections." However, if you are an eligible voting DEC member and have an objection, please raise your hand electronically using the icon at the bottom of your screen, and you will be recognized by the Sergeant at Arms and asked to unmute your mic. You will then state your first and last name, club name and number, and your officer role. Your objection can then be heard and considered by the assembly and for the administration manager to record. The objected topic will then be presented to the floor for discussion and will then be placed on the voting ballot to be put to a vote. While the credential chair and her committee validate voting delegate attendance, eligibility, and quorum, we will now hear the district reports from the district executive team. I will add that questions around the following reports will not be entertained during this meeting, but can be addressed offline with the appropriate executive member. We will begin with the finance manager, Fadi Zabal. Fadi, the virtual lectern is yours.
Thank you, Mr. District Director Ben. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters. Next slide, please. Next slide. The fiscal year begins the same as Toastmasters New Year, June 21 to July 22nd. During the year, the finance manager has 4 important dates: the first quarter, the second, which is the mid-year, the third quarter, and the end of the year. At the beginning of the first quarter, at the beginning of the year, the district director put together an audit committee to do the mid and end of the year audit review. It's comprised of 4 to 5 people going over our finance and supporting document to make sure all concur. For this mid-year review, the previous slide, please. For this mid-year review, the district the mid-year review has been completed and submitted and was accepted by Toastmasters International. Next slide. This slide shows where we stand at the beginning of the year through December 31st, 2021. We had a net income of $6,432 compared to the net loss we anticipated during our budgeting year. This difference is mostly due to the fact that by December 31st of the year 2021, the district had still expenses that were delayed, and we were concerned by the time, and we had some other issues. And as the year goes, expenses will catch up quarter to quarter, and eventually will break even by June 2022. Next slide, please. This slide is the mid-year audit report. We show an average of our monthly net loss, and also as of to date, as of December 31st, 2021, net income, which was $6,431. And our available fund as of December 31st was $82,350. Next slide. On this slide, we can see the report from March, our evolution in terms of our finance from July to March 31st. We have a net income of 16,826. And as we stated earlier, expenses are still catching up. Most of our event and expenses happen around spring and summer. Next slide, please. In general, our revenue are composed by membership due payment, which is mostly estimated by Toastmasters International, and some donation. The expenses that we accrue comes from the deck training, the TLI, speech contest, swing conference, marketing, insensitive, postage, and others. We also spend some money for the spring conference. And finally, at the end of the year, we will have our year-end audit. Next slide. This is our year-to-date financial status. As of the Q1, we had our revenue was 13,087. Q2, we had less revenue, and on the third quarter, we were slightly over the first quarter revenue, with a total revenue for this year as of from July 1st till March 31st of 31,780. And down on this slide, you can see the spreadsheet that show the blue are the revenue, the red are the expenses, and the green is our net income. Normally, as a not-for-profit organization, our rate should be higher than our blue, because we are not here to make profit. We are here to spend and to use the money. So, but because we still have some expenses that are pending, some expenses that are to be done. So by the end of the year, we will catch up and eventually break even. Next slide. Our membership revenue for this year, or our revenue in general, the total revenue, we have 31,230 that come from membership payment, and 550 that come from a donation, which is just 2% of our revenue. Next slide. This slide shows the major change or unexpected event we had this year and our financial. In February 2022, part of our available funds were reallocated to cover both the member self-pay and the enhanced learning management system Basecamp project. From February 2022 to June 2022, our contribution would be $3,526. Note that we did not budget these expenses at the beginning of the year when we were working on our budget. But life happened. This will also increase our expenses, and at the end of the year, we break even for us to meet the net loss at the end of the fiscal year. Next slide, please. Thank you for your attention. Back to you, Ben.
Thank you, Fadi. We will now hear from our Public Relations Manager, Marianne Grady. Marianne, the virtual lectern is yours. Is Marianne among us? All right, then I will take over in her stead. So the public relations team is comprised of Karen Pardue, who is the newsletter managing editor, Beatrice Vilmay, the current webmaster, and of course, Marianne Grady, our public relations manager. Through multiple platforms, we have marketed Toastmasters, not only international, but our own district through internal newsletters, our website, and multiple social media outlets, those being LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and the such. Marianne is also developing and helping to support the video challenge that can be located on the Toastmasters International website for particulars. But what the challenge is, upload one video, a cell phone video per day to the D18 Facebook page for 18 days. Videos will be uploaded between May 1st and May 31st. Videos should be 30 seconds to 2 minutes and relate to public speaking, leadership, or communication. If you have any questions, please email Marianne at prm@toastmasters-d18.org. Again, if you have any questions for Marianne, please reach out to her at the listed email address. Next, we will move on to our Club Growth Director report given by Tennille Coombs. Tennille, the virtual lectern is yours.
Good afternoon. Hi, my name is Tennille Coombs, and I'm going to give you a quick Club Growth Directors report. Let me share my screen. So here's the Club Growth Directors report. It's nothing major. Right now, I'm gonna give you a comparison of the club growth from over 2021 to 2022 versus 2022 to 2021. Currently, we're at 3,104 members. Last year around this time, and the report was pulled for today, we were at 3,013 members. While it's not a really big jump, we're currently at an active of 106 clubs versus last year at 124 clubs. A little bit of numbers do matter. We're in the deficit of 25% versus last year. We're at 20. We were at 20%. So, but we have just over 100 more members than we did last year this time. However, we did do some incentives this year. This year we did the early bird membership renewal. As of August 8/31, we did 23 clubs competed, and they won $50 gift certificates. You should have received by now 2 $25 gift certificates in the mail. And then we just completed it, and it was due February 28th, my typo. And then 35 clubs competed, and 35 clubs completed that mission, and they won $50 gift certificates also. And then they also were able to receive 8 membership pins for their club. This year, we were able to give away pins, lapel pins, and actual write-in pins and pencil sets. So for the club mentors in the clubs this year, we had Andrea Briscoe, we had Jim Book, Karen Story, and myself. And then we had club sponsors. We only had 2. We had Nora Wade and Amy Culbertson. And then we also had a club improvement incentive. And so this is what happened. So last year I looked at the numbers around April 30th, and then I also looked at the numbers this year. And so for the following clubs, we had this information. Christina Care, Aloha, Chambersburg Area Toastmasters Club, Highways Masters Club, and Tidewaters Toastmasters. They have improved not only with their goals, but also with their membership numbers. They will receive a $75 gift certificate and an acrylic award. So at the end of this, I will get with somebody from your club, and definitely we'll work to get this out to you for the end of the year when the store opens back again. And last but not least, honorable mention, Division B, Element of Success. You were working hard. I seen the improvement in your club, but you didn't make a goal this year. And also in Division E, RMF Toastmasters, again, you worked really hard, but you didn't make a goal in your club either. So you still have a little bit of time. And then here's some of the partnership work that I was able to do throughout my year. I did a Mastery Monday with one of the club growth directors, Miss Rhonda Young from Division 38. I also did a partnership with a club growth director in Division 36. And I'm also working with one more club growth director on another project. And as soon as she's ready to release that information, I will definitely share that. So being a club growth director is not something you can do by yourself. It's something you do with a team. And so Dwight's on this call and he can definitely tell you the meetings we have once a month. We meet, we talk about different things and various items. And so sometimes you don't just work in your division, you work in other divisions. And with that, you'll find out you have different opportunities to not just shine and support your team, you'll shine and support other teams. With that, I turn that back over to you, Ben. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Tennille. Start sharing again. Next, we will hear from our Program Quality Director, Kathleen Davis. Kathleen, the virtual lectern is yours.
Thank you so much, Mr. District Director. First, I would just like to say, for those of you who have put a message in the chat box to get some help from Cynthia D. Williams, she is in the breakout room at the moment. And when she returns to the main room, you'll be able to send her a message to receive additional help with voting. Now that several people have messaged that, I just thought I'd give that little bit of note to everyone. Next slide, please. This year has been an interesting one, has it not? But let me tell you, there are so many people who have shown their light and led the way for this district. This is just a small portion of those who have helped with the Mastery Mondays and the winter TLIs. At the fall business meeting, I thanked those that helped at the summer TLIs, and I wanted to do the same here as well. It takes a village, and we've put the word out there, and these folks definitely came through and helped us make it happen. And I'm so pleased about that, especially given the fact that we try to have different speakers for our educational TLIs, as well as additional items throughout the year, doing those Mastery Mondays and providing value back to each and every member in various different ways. Without everybody's support, this would not happen. So I thank each and every one of you for helping and stepping up during these times. Next slide, please. Congratulations. We have a handful of clubs that had 7 officers trained in both the summer and winter sessions of TLI. And I applaud your efforts. Your club definitely knows what it takes to be distinguished and to move your members forward. Now, this is only a handful of clubs in our district. That doesn't mean you can't do the same for your club going into the next year. We want to, at a minimum, of course, have 4 officers trained in both the summer and winter months. I am saddened to say we did not reach our level of 75% of officers being trained this year. We are still on our usual average, which is between 55 and 60%. I had a lofty goal this year of getting 75% of officers to training. And unfortunately, we did not make that goal. There were many obstacles for folks. Zoom fatigue, just plain tired, just not wanting to do those extra steps, not available, the times didn't work for them. We always have so many reasons why we didn't get to training. But let's think about what we're missing by not going to training. It's not always the same old training year after year, because in District 18, we try and bring new information to you every single term. And unfortunately, we just didn't have the support of all of the officers. And I'm sorry to say that that will then hurt the club directly. Even though I know we've got a lot of frequent flyers here who might have been to TLIs for 30 plus years, I'll tell you something. Every time I go to a training, I learn something new. At least 1 to 5 things I learn, and I write those down because that's what makes it worthwhile. Remember, going to training also is a direct reflection of how well your club does. We've seen this time and time again, that numbers show us that the more successful clubs are the ones that do come to training. And especially for newer officers, as we turn things over from year to year, these new officers need this training. And guess what? They need your support as distinguished Toastmasters and longtime Toastmasters. That's the beauty of it. It is the collaboration, and together we will become stronger. So please keep that in mind as you all go into your May and June timeframe and are voting in your new officers for next year. And hopefully we can start training early in June to get those officers ready to go when we hit the ground running July 1st. That's always the goal, isn't it? Better to be prepared. Next slide, please. Pathways adoption rates. Why do we talk about this still when Pathways has now been around for several years? Well, because we're all still not taking up that charge, if you will. This is our educational learning path. And regardless of what your personal feelings are, depending on how long you've been a Toastmaster, I won't age anybody, we still need to be working through our path. That is the way forward, and especially for our newer members. Now, it wasn't all bad this year. We did have some slight increases, all right? So members overall in the adoption rate of getting into their paths increased by 1%. Hey, I'll take it. I'll take every little inch I can get. Our new members, those are people who just signed up with Toastmasters, increased 5%. So that's excellent. That's a couple more percentage points. I'll take that. And then finally, our officers increased by 2% as well, which is also encouraging. But what I'm most alarmed about is our overall numbers in our percentages as far as the Region 7 is concerned. Members overall have only gone into Pathways up to 81%. Yikes, right? We can do better than that. Our newer members, and this is the most alarming piece, 49%. That means that over 50% of new members are not starting a path. That means a loss of members to a club, to an area, to a division, and to our district overall. We have got to be supportive to our new members and getting them started on their path to success. That's the whole reason that they joined Toastmasters. And we need to keep that ball moving forward. Take that drive forward of them coming out of their comfort zone and wanting to learn, and get them in their path. Get them moving forward. Give that icebreaker speech, the easiest speech in the world, right? Well, maybe not to new members. We've all been there though. So let's remember what value that we're adding, especially to our newer members. We want to keep them going for a long period of time. And remember, you were a new member once too, and it was terrifying. Mentorship is so crucial to helping this process. And both Ben and I have been very valiantly trying to push mentorship in every single club because everybody needs a mentor. Guess what? So do I. And I have multiple because it takes a village to raise me, apparently. And hopefully you all have the same as well. If you don't, hey, I'll be your mentor. So just remember how we can support our clubs and our people moving forward. That is the cornerstone of who and what we are, is our members. And each and every one of you is that as well. Next slide, please. That is it for me this year as far as program quality for District 18. As always, I am always open to conversations. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. And oh, by the way, don't forget, we're also on Slack, right? That is a new communication device that we are trying to spread the word about in the district to get everybody working together. It's easy to communicate if you want to. Thank you so much, Mr. District Director.
All right, thank you, Kathleen. I will now give my district director report. At the start of our current Toastmasters year, we started with a base of 112 paid clubs. That is a deficit of only 12 clubs from the end of the previous year. All in all, not a bad number of casualties in the midst of the pandemic. As of today, we currently have 87 paid clubs and 20 clubs that are not in good standing and may face suspension, especially if they do not have 8 paid members before the next renewal cycle in October. As the pandemic continues to wreak havoc on our district, during the current year, we now have a total of 9 suspended clubs that face dissolution. These clubs are listed on the screen as you see them. Even though the pandemic may be waning, like an animal that hears its own death knell, it's rearing its ugly head even more violently to prevent its own demise. And I'm afraid our district will suffer more casualties in the form of clubs and members disappearing due to the ongoing pandemic. Despite our district having 2 clubs chartered this year and 2 more in the wings, I see the biggest opportunity for the district to grow is for an exponential increase in member engagement and participation. Hence the reason for our theme, Shine Your Light and Lead the Way. It's only through our current members' efforts and participation that we can grow this district. I implore each of you in the sound of my voice to up our game, be the example, level up, and shine your light and lead the way for the success of the district, its members, and the organization. For the future, this pandemic has provided each of us an opportunity to experience a positive. Each of us are now more proficient at using virtual technology, not only to connect with others in our own backyard, but around the globe. Going forward, we are being handed an opportunity to develop that skill even more by holding hybrid meetings, a definite precedent for Toastmasters. Hopefully, our incoming district team will be afforded resources from Toastmasters International to take advantage of this groundbreaking effort. On a positive note, District 18 is on track with its fiduciary responsibilities. Our budget projections, expenditures, and income are as expected, and we expect to close out this year's audit process on time and within fiscal guidelines. As the sun sets on my own tenure as District 18 Director, I ask that you continue to be the example and shine your light and lead the way. I know I will. Since our alignment, and that concludes my report, and since our alignment chair was unable to attend, I will now present the 2022-2023 alignment recommendation. On the screen, you could see the recommendation document as it appears on the District 18 website. Madam PQD, will you please post the link to this document in the chat box? In summary, since the district has experienced unprecedented loss of clubs and members due to the seemingly ongoing pandemic, it was determined by the alignment committee to not make any changes to the club alignments. This will only allow the district a strong start in the next fiscal year to have a solid base of clubs in each area to grow moving forward. Additionally, I will say that there are quite a few districts within the organization that are adopting the same attitude or mindset when it comes to losing clubs and not making any alignment changes. Just to let you know, we are in the norm. Is Cynthia and her team back in the room, Miss Kathleen Davis?
Yes, Mr. District Director, they are back in the main room.
Okay, thank you very much. At this time, I would like to invite the district's immediate past district director, Cynthia D. Williams, DTM, to present the Credentials Committee report, and I will stop sharing my screen. Cynthia, the virtual lectern is yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all. Good morning. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, District Director Ben Chris. Good afternoon. My name is Cynthia D. Williams and serving as your credentials chair. The district business meeting credential report is as such. Clubs eligible for District 18, total 87 paid clubs times 2 gives us a total of 174. The quorum needs to be 1/3 of the 174, which gives us 59 president VPE voting members. We have, congratulations, everyone, you have a quorum. We have 76 voting members present today at this very moment. Again, we have quorum. We have made quorum. Congratulations. Back to you, District Director Ben Chris. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, Cynthia, and thank you to the Credentials Committee. Congratulations, fellow leaders. We have a quorum. Right. The next order of business is the district business meeting voting and parliamentary procedures. Help me welcome the district's parliamentarian, William Buckley, DTM. William, the virtual lectern is yours.
Thank you, Mr. District Director. Welcome, everyone, to District 18's 2022 Virtual Spring Business Meeting. And I want to reiterate that in this meeting, when you are addressing the chair to make a motion or to add a discussion, please raise your hand electronically using the icon at the bottom of your screen, and then wait until you will be recognized by the Sergeant at Arms. Voting members were asked to ensure their vote via Election Buddy. Deck members who have multiple ballots due to position should ensure they vote and submit each ballot. If a vote is required outside of the predetermined ballot, issues loaded in Election Buddy, the Credentials Chair will create a ballot on demand and email it to the registered email of the eligible district council members or conduct a roll call if needed. It was noted that if a member desires to make a motion, the member will present the motion by saying, "I move." A motion is not offered by saying, "I make a motion" or "I motion." Motions are made in the positive. In other words, motions intend to do something or cause something to happen. Motions are not usually offered to not do something. Simply refrain from making a motion if you don't want to follow a course of action. After a motion is made, the chair will ask for a second. Parliamentary law does not require the recognition or recording of who made the second. However, if a member seconds a motion, we ask that they type their name, club number, and office held in the question and answer. This will help us determine if the individual is an eligible DEC member. If you are a DEC member and have a question of the chair, you may electronically raise your hand and type the question and answer in the chat box. Point of information, similarly, if you want to draw attention to a rules violation, you may electronically raise your hand and type that also in the chat box. Finally, please note that if you have not declared your intent to run and have not been vetted by the commission's committee at least 7 days prior to this business meeting, you are not eligible to run from the floor. Mr. District Director, that concludes my report on the parliamentary procedures for this meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Buckley. The next order of business is the approval of the agenda and adoption of the September 2021 Fall Business Meeting minutes. Madam Program Quality Director, will you provide the links in the chat box for the final agenda and the September 2021 business meeting minutes? Notably, both items have been posted for the last 3 weeks on the District 18 website for your review. At this point, I will stop sharing my screen. I will now entertain a motion to approve the agenda and adopt the September 2021 fall minutes. Please raise your hand electronically using the icon at the bottom of your screen to be recognized by the Sergeant at Arms. You will need to unmute your mic, then state your first and last name, club name and number, and your officer role once the Sergeant at Arms has recognized you to make a motion to approve and adopt the agenda and the meeting minutes for the fall business meeting. Do I have any first motion?
District Director, it appears that Kathleen Davis has raised her hand.
All right, Kathleen Davis, please state your name and role and your club number.
Kathleen Davis, VP Education, Winchester Toastmasters 9772.
All right. Do you make a motion to adopt the agenda and the minutes?
I do make a motion to adopt the agenda and the meeting minutes.
All right, thank you. So noted. Do I have a second motion, second to that motion? Will anyone please second that motion?
Director, AD Michelle.
I second the motion.
Okay, please state your name, club number, and your role.
Daniel McCaffrey, President, Greater Oakton Area Toastmasters number 5280.
Thank you. The motion to approve the agenda and adopt the summer 2021 fall business meeting minutes have been made and seconded. Are there any objections to the motion to approve the agenda and adopt the 2021 fall business meeting minutes? Without objection, the motion to approve today's agenda and the September 2021 business meeting minutes are adopted. The administration manager will record that this motion was passed by unanimous consent. Since the motion to approve, hold on. All right, skip to the end. All right. Next. Share. All right, Madam PQD, will you put the link to the alignment report document in the chat box? I will now entertain a motion to approve the District Alignment Committee recommendation. Please raise your hand electronically so that way the Sergeant at Arms may recognize you to
Mark?
make a motion.
Sorry, District Director Mark Pettiquin has raised his hand.
Yes, I was seconding the motion.
All right. Mark, will you please mute your YouTube?
I'm sorry, I was muted. I haven't, not running anything.
Whoever is running the YouTube, please mute your computer. All right, let's try this again. So Mark, please state your name, club number, and your officer role.
Mark Petriquin, club number 8050, secretary.
All right, unfortunately, you are not a voting member of the deck as far as being a president or VPE. So,
District Director Teresa Hetzel had raised her hand as well.
Teresa Hetzel, President, Phase 2 Advanced Toastmasters. A motion to approve.
all right, we are having some feedback issues. Thank you, Teresa. Do we have a second?
Yes, we did have a second. It was President Anne Marie Givens.
Yes.
All right, Anne Marie, please state your name, club number, and role.
Anne Marie Givens, Aloha Toastmasters Club, club number 7889364, officer president role. And I seconded the nomination.
All right.
Did you hear me? Oh, okay.
All right, thank you very much, Anne Marie. All right. Just give me 1 second. Yes. Yeah, we're having a loop. Somebody's playing YouTube, the YouTube link, which has a delay, so now it's playing back. So I'm going to try and stop the live streaming.